Hi tubies, here's Alexandra again, and welcome to the next painting tutorial. This time we will have a look at a Bloodletter of Khorne. As you can see, I have already built him and removed all the mold lines, and I have placed him on a slot base because I want to show you how to cover that up during the tutorial. Well, what I'm doing first is I will very slightly prime him with a spray primer. It doesn't matter at all if it is black, white or gray. Just it has to be a real spray primer. And then I will go over it with a Mephiston Red Citadel spray color. This is not a spray primer, so be aware of that. The difference between a spray color and a spray primer is the following. Spray primer is supposed to stick very hard to plastic and allowing following coats of paint to be sticky to the primer and not chip off so easy. Color itself on plastic, on pure plastic, has the tendency to peel off very quickly. So always prime him properly first. So I will very gently prime him first and then go over with a spray color. And I'll be back when he's dry. Okay, tubies. That's how he looks after the priming process. Here you see I have primed him with white previously. There are some spots that are not hit by the primer, but that doesn't matter. First thing we were going to do is treat him with a wash, and this time we will treat him with two washes exactly. First Carbook Crimson and Nuln Oil. So first take the red wash, Carbook Crimson, and give the whole miniature a treatment with that. Not too much, but also not too less, because we are adding also the black, the Nuln Oil to it. So we don't want to flood the miniature with too much wash. And for those of you that don't know what that here is, this is simply an old Citadel color paint pot with some sticky tack on top. So now we take the black wash and then we are mixing the two washes directly on the miniature. That way the black is not totally black and the red is, well, not only just red. So add a little bit more of the red. And there you go. That should be plenty enough. And that we will now leave to dry. I'll be back when he's dry. Okay, the wash is dry now, and that's how he looks. So let's illuminate him a little bit better. Ah, that's good. Okay, you see that all the muscle structures are well defined with the wash now. And now we start with actually painting him with the fitting color, Khorne Red. So, as usual, I put some of the color on my palette to be able to adjust the amount of paint on my brush. So, I will add a tiny little bit of water just to have a bit of flow. So, and then I start to define the muscle structure even more with painting over all the main areas and leaving the shadows in the muscle areas, in the recesses. Here, like areas like this here, I go over it with the side of the brush. That way I can paint larger areas by leaving the shadow areas behind. Yes, I will also go over the areas with the little knobs or pustles, or however you want to call them. I will redefine that later. So, I will finish up the process and be right back. So, the next layer in our little painting tutorial will be made out of Mephiston Red. So that I'll paint, like usual, a little paint on the palette, a little bit of water for a better flow. And then I start to highlight those areas, and as you can see, I leave a little bit of the Khorne red behind. I'm concentrating now on the upper parts of the muscle structure. And also use all parts of the brush. Sometimes this side, sometimes in a straight line on the side, sometimes the point of the brush. It depends on the area where I'm working on right now. So how exactly that works and where to apply which technique, if you go with a point of the brush or with the edge, that is totally well, something you develop over time. This is nothing I can instantly well, explain or show you at a certain every certain part of the miniature. This is something you will learn over time. When you're painting, you will learn how to use the brush. With more and more experience, you know how to handle the brush, and the brush will transform from a tool, from a simple tool to paint, to an extension of your fingers. It's a little bit like swordsmanship. The better you are at it, the better you are one with a tool. Same applies for an airbrush. Many people think that using an airbrush is kind of a way of cheating with painting, but well, that's not the case. It's true, you can make really extreme highlights with an airbrush, make smooth transitions, but in the end, an airbrush is nothing else than a tool. And if you don't know how to use the tool, then the best airbrush in the world can't make a difference. People often ask me why I use mainly the brush and not an airbrush. That's because I like the the style of a painted miniature by brush more than with using an airbrush. Sure, miniatures with an airbrush look stunning, and that is, I would say, the tool of this time. Over time, techniques in painting develop over and over again. If you have a look at, let's say, Golden Demon entries from, let's say, 1992, and compare them with entries from nowadays, you would say that the Golden Demon winners of that time period wouldn't have had a chance to even win a bronze medal nowadays. That's how the techniques change, and everything is changing and evolving, and every miniature painter has its own style, and sometimes new developments occur, and well, with the media today, with YouTube and the forums and the White Dwarf and painting DVDs and all that kind of stuff, the techniques that were kind of secret in the old days are now publicly available, and so the techniques spread out more and more, and the people, well, the more people that use a technique, the more people have the chance to transform a technique into something totally new by adding something they have, for example, evolved, or well, for example, using heavily washes that wasn't that successful in the early days, but nowadays wash, you can't think away a wash nowadays. So we will continue now with Evil Sun Scarlet. Palette a little bit. So. Also, the technique, the colors itself are constantly evolving. The colors from the old days, the old GW paints, are totally different than the new ones. Or in the old days, there were no private press colors, or highly available Minotaur paints from Badger for your airbrushes. That wasn't the case. Back to the topic. Well, experience. Experience is the key thing of painting. Like I said in my final lesson video, the master, the difference between a master and a beginner is the master has failed more often than the beginner has even tried. So, just take your brush and paint. Even if it is not absolutely perfect, you will gain experience. It's like in an MMO. Think of each miniature like an enemy you have slain in an MMO, and you get experience points for it. Yes, of course, if you paint the same miniature over and over again, your experience will drop. So in the first time you maybe get 90 experience, and the second miniature you get 80 experience, and then the 100th miniature will get you 5 experience, and so on. But overall you will get experience. So that's sometimes important to well, change the miniatures you are painting. For example, I paint all kinds of miniatures over and over. There is not one simple thing. I only paint Space Marines or something like that. I paint demons, I paint Lord of the Rings miniatures, I paint Space Marines, I paint Chaos Space Marines, I paint Tyranids, and all that kind of stuff. And for those of you that are new to the channel, yes, those painting tutorials are still available, and yes, they are still viable. I have painting tutorials from 3 or 4 years ago, but you can still learn something from them. Even though I've used different colors, but this is not painting by numbers. You could totally exchange the colors I'm using with totally different ones. The main thing is the key to my painting style is just start with a dark color and go constantly with brighter and brighter colors over it. So you could totally paint this whole miniature in blues. Just start with a dark blue and highlight with even brighter blues. So with that information, you can make a blue bloodletter if you want to. So, and slowly but progressing, we see nice transitions in color here on the bloodletter, and we will go even more extreme with the color now, because we will add now a little bit of Troll Slayer orange to the paint. So, whoop, adding it in. Yeah, that sounds nice. Or look nice, rather than sounding. Remember to wash your brush from time to time. You don't want the color to dry on the tip of your brush. That would look kind of ugly. So, and I'm talking here for 11 minutes straight right now, but that is not so important. More important is to finish this nice miniature here. So, and after that I will go to a part of the miniature that, well, most of you have probably been waiting for, the sword. How to paint this nice glowing sword. And so we will go to it. Don't worry. Okay, I think the highlights on this miniature are almost done. So slightly going over here, the little Khorne symbol with the orange. There you go. So, be right back, and then we tackle the sword. Okay, in order to paint the blade properly, we have to do some preparations first. We want a transition from black over red to yellow and white. So for that I will prepare the blade now at the tip with some white. Just like that. So then in the middle with some orange. Okay. It doesn't matter if it is not covering 100%. And then at the hilt we add some black. So and that needs to dry now completely. So I will leave it like an hour so that it is completely dry. So for you, this is just a blink of an eye. Be right back. Okay guys, let's do this. Yeah, now. You're good? You're good? Okay, now we go. We need 3 colors. Evil Sun Scarlet, black, and Flesh Kids yellow. So, let's first paint the tip of the blade in yellow. Real quick. So, that's why we have painted it previously in white. So, the yellow would be nice covering here. So, same on both sides. There we go. So, now we go for some wet blending. We need again some black, just a tiny little bit. And also we need red on our palette. Okay, there we go. Okay, we will first apply here the red area. And then quickly wash the brush. We take some of the black. And now we are dragging the black over the red and mixing it together. See? Just like that. Now with a wet brush, I'll go over it again. Take some more of the red. Again, down here. Then some more black. Sometimes wiping off the brush. And basically pull up the paint. Just like that. So, now we're going downwards with some more of the red. Again, wiping the brush a little bit. Always going back and forth until you have a nice smooth transition. See? From black to a dark red to an orange. So, now we do the same for the yellow. So, again, some yellow here on the top. And then we need some red again here. And we are pulling that up until the yellow. Okay, so now more of the yellow, we're going down. You obviously need way more of the yellow than the red. What we are basically doing here is simply mixing the color directly on the blade. and so creating this nice transition between the colors. You do that until you're satisfied with it. Ta-da! And you have now a nice burning blade. I will do that for the other side also, and be right back. Okie dokie chewies, there you have it, a nice burning blade on both sides. A thing that I have added is just a yellow line at the edges. To accomplish that, just take a brush and go with the side over the edge of the blade, and that way you get this nice glowing effect. So, moving on, we will now paint the tongue with serous purple. Just take the color and paint up the tongue in purple. I choose this color because it gives a nice contrast to the red, while it is still a warm color in the red environment. Meaning purple itself is a color mixed out of blue and red. So it fits the miniature. Sure, I could have painted this the tongue in green. That would give also an interesting contrast to the overall red, but it wouldn't fit, so I take this color instead. So to highlight that, I will use some Emperor's Children pink. So first I will mix that into the purple, roughly 50-50. And with that I will highlight the top parts with it, like that. So, and then I take the pure pink for the final highlight. Like that. So, I think the back fins need a little bit more contrast, so I will go there and let's close up the pots here really quick. So, and I will go there and paint it a little bit more orange. So I will go now with Wild Rider Red. So, and pick out those fins even more. So next step will be Troll Slayer Orange. Ta-da! And then I will mix 50-50 the Troll Slayer orange with Flesh Kids yellow. Ever these things stand out quite some more. See? Very nice. Now we will tackle the horns. I think I will go with simply in black. This gives also a nice bright and dark contrast to the miniature. So I think all the nails and toes I will also paint in black. Okay, let's do that real quick. Okay, now the toes. And we are getting close to finishing this miniature. It's really not that far away anymore. Well, I guess this Khorne symbol there on the shoulder, and some of them have that on the forehead. I will go right in there with the orange I have left over from the fins, and make it pop a little bit more. Like that. Okay, now he's actually really looking like some kind of a devil, isn't he? So, now we will tackle the little dots and pustules all over the place. We'll go again with some Carbog Crimson. Give those areas a little bit more definition. Okay. And I guess he's almost done. Well, the horns could need a little bit more. I guess I will go in with a little bit of wet blending until Screaming Skull. So, let's see. Need some more black. On the palette. And again, a little bit wettening. And then I go in with a gray. Just like that. And then at the top, more of the Screaming Skull gray. So, okay, it's up to you now to decide what do you like more, this here, or just the simple pure black. Well, I will go the road with the gray. A little bit of wet blending. And we are good to go. Dum dum dum. Okay, I think that's enough. So, the sword pommel hilt needs to be painted, and for that matter we need some bronze. Let's see, where do we have a fitting color? There, shining gold. This looks nice. Vallejo model color, bright bronze. So let's stick with it. Gold and bronze are always nice colors with red, quite fitting and supporting each other. Okay, same for the handle. Dum 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 dum. quick. This. See, and that way you repair damages. Be quick and you can wipe colors away. If you're not quick enough, you have to repaint the whole area. And that wouldn't be nice, wouldn't it? No, no, no. That wouldn't be. Okay. Here, here a little bit more, and there. Okay. I'll leave that quickly to dry, and be right back. Okie dokie. Now we will go to the base. So we will quickly remove that from our nice holder. So. You have a gaping hole in your base. What to do about it? Well, there is a nice solution. Paper. In this case, sticky note. The pink one. And keep that in mind. That only works with the pink sticky notes. Not with the green ones. Not with the blue ones. Keep the white ones completely out of your head. It must be the pink one. So, just kidding. So we are cutting out here a little bit of our paper, and then we adjust it to the base. So we measure it roughly and cut it roughly. So, and now this is good covering. Okay. Let's move that extra part out of the way. What we are doing now is we take our handy dandy white glue, an old brush, so what I will do now is, like usual, I will paint the base with the white glue, especially the area where the paper is going to be. And then I simply take the paper, place it on the area where it should cover, press it on, and then I will cover the rest of the base again with white glue. Just like that. And move it a little bit more into position with a little toothpick. Doesn't matter if it wrinkles a little bit. So, just like that. And then take your sand and, like usual, you pull the miniature through it. And voila, the base is sanded and you don't have a clue that there was even a hole in the first place. Nice, isn't it? So, I leave the sand to dry and be right back. Okay, the sand on the miniature is dry now, and for this miniature I want to do something different. Normally you see bases where you have a dark underground color and then you dry brush with a brighter color as a highlight. And then you have occasions where you have lava bases. Well, I particularly see this miniature standing more on burning coal. So in order to do this, I want to well, experiment on this occasion. So what I'm doing here is I take yellow and I'm watering it down quite a lot. So it's like really runny, and I will now paint the whole base with it. To have it basically in all the cracks and crevices of the sand yellow. And then I'm going to use some orange, wild rider red, also watered down, and add a few flotches of orange here and there, just like that. And now I will use some red in basically the same way. So, just like that. And that I will leave now totally to dry. Be right back. Okay guys, as you can see I have already painted the edge of the base in black, and what I will do now is take actually some black and I will slightly go over the sand with the black. What that creates is an environment like burning coal. You can make it as heavy black as you want, or leave it quite untouched. Totally depends on your personal taste. But overall, I found this a quite interesting method of doing a base. Something you would not often see. So, now back to the final touches of the miniature. Last thing to do is painting the eyes and maybe giving a wash to the handle of the sword. So let's start with the sword, and we will use some Reichland Flesh Shade for that. This will enhance the shininess of the metal and also shading it at the same time. Okay, there we go. And now for the eyes, I think 2 dots of white will do the trick. So, just taking some white. Just like that. And voila, the bloodletter is done. I hope, guys, that you're... Oh, I have forgotten something. I'm terribly sorry. The teeth. I have totally forgotten the teeth. So I will quickly paint them in white. Just like that. And there you go. That's your bloodletter. So again, I hope you liked this tutorial. And we will see us in the next video. And if you have painted 10 or 20 of them, you will probably be a master of wet blending swords. So, until the next video, your Alexandra.